Good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat podcast. Happy to have each and every one of you on who are listening on WeFM, Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio, and those who are on the NDC Facebook platform. It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon in Grenada, and I want to take this very special opportunity to extend special thank you to the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, and his entire cabinet for having the trust and confidence to appoint me as ambassador with responsibility for diaspora affairs. Very important portfolio indeed. And I want to also thank each and every one of you whom have extended congratulations via Facebook or radio or newspaper or in person. I say thank you so very much. And I want to invite all of you. And when I say all, I mean all Grenadians, because this is a public office. This is not a partisan office. So I want to invite all of you to join in next Sunday when we're going to be talking diaspora affairs. So as we continue with the program, I want to present to you a report which was filed by the PRO of the St. George Northwest Constituency. Her name is Siobhan Nicholas Levine. And then we will share presentations from a training workshop which was held in Grenada about 2 weeks ago. Very interesting indeed. It's entitled All Things Coconut. And there were several professionals, experts from the region and elsewhere sharing their expertise to farmers and others. As you know, agriculture is one of the pillars of the transformation agenda of this government. So I invite you to be part of the program today. And just to let the listeners who are on radio that at 1 o'clock, I invite you to please join the NDC Facebook platform, because the program will continue for another maybe 7 or 8 minutes thereabout. Catch up with you again next Sunday. Thank you for being part of the Heartbeat today.
Hello everyone, my name is Siobhan Nicholas Levine and I represent the public relations team of the wonderful constituency of St. George Northwest. Today I'm here to highlight a few of the many things happening in our constituency, spearheaded by our very hard-working Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette. As you know, he's also the Minister for Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, which keeps him super busy. But he's young and energetic, so with the help of his loving family, supportive constituents, and most importantly, the grace and favor of God by his side, he continues to serve with excellence. We have just completed 1 year in office, and we can happily report that we have accomplished so much in a short space of time. Senator is not one to toot his own horn, so some may feel like not much is happening. But that's why I'm here, right? So let's get into it. Infrastructure. In Mount Morris, the Bel Air Road was completed. In Grand Mall, the Coco Road is 90% complete. Major work is ongoing on the Happy Hill Secondary School. That will continue. And I must say that it's progressing nicely. We are excited to report the commencement of the Fontenoy River project. That was started on July 3rd, 2023, and we were able to employ a number of young men from the community. This project is estimated to cost over $400,000. Cherry Hill Long Step project to be continued. Fontenoy, the Bel Air Road that was started by the Handover Company, will also be continued. Top Happy Hill Road development project, it is 75% completed and that will also continue. Community development and poverty reduction. There is a strong focus on education institutions within the St. George Northwest. Many of the schools received assistance with much needed items like coolers, industrial stove, educational murals, flat screen TV, etc. Senator Lacrette continues with community visits, Cherry Hill being our most recent. Regular branch meetings continue. All the safety net programs are fully functional. Approximately 40 homes have benefited from the house repair program. We are currently in the process of constructing the 10th bathroom and toilet. 34 individuals have been added to the SEED program. Please note that applications for all safety net programs continue. As we begin our second year in office, we are excited about commencing community meetings. All 10 communities within St. George Northwest will have consultative meetings to discuss things done and things to be done. So fellow constituents, look out for those announcements and dates, mark it on your calendars, and be ready to actively participate in the transformational agenda. The branch office located at number 5 Hippos Commercial Complex at Grand Mall remains open, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our lovely Miss Shanda Williams is always there and can be reached on 449-4684. I repeat, 449-4684. Constituency days are on Thursdays from 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Our Honorable Senator tries to make it out every Thursday, but you would appreciate how schedules run. So we welcome everyone to come in to discuss directly with Senator or with anyone he may ask to fill in for him from time to time. Senator continues with weekend home visits. Sometimes special requests are made by the elderly who cannot make it out to public engagements, and as such, he makes special visits to them. Other times, it's just general visits to see his supporters, boots on the ground. Listen, if I were to sit here to speak about everything that has been accomplished by Senator Lacrette, assisted by his executive team and all his supporters, this would be a very long recording. So I'm just here to let you know that a lot has happened and there are lots more in the pipeline. Just to name a few. Number 1, we would like all constituents to know that the wall separating Happy Hill Primary School, that's the Uganda Martyrs Catholic School, that wall that separates the school from the medical station is currently being looked at for repairs. Number 2, very soon the Happy Hill Secondary School will be receiving 8 laptops that they requested. More murals. Number 3, I'm sure you would have seen the lovely mural that was done at the Grand Mall Pre-Primary School. Well, Senator has scheduled more murals for Bushaju Pre-Primary School and the Uganda Martyrs Catholic School. Number 4, another initiative which will be coming on stream soon is called Project HEAL. That is Project HEAL, which stands for Helping the Elderly Achieve Longevity. That's a project involving retired nurses who will be paid a salary to ensure that the elderly in communities within St. George Northwest who are immobile or incapacitated receive basic care and vital sign checks, and even a referral when and where necessary. So as I close, I say thank you to Mr. Forrester and all involved in giving us the opportunity to share and just let the public know about what's happening in St. George Northwest. We really appreciate it. Special thanks to our Senator, the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette. Sir, we love you and fully support you, and we know you love us also. Blessings to our beloved and Honorable Prime Minister and the entire NDC family. Thank you for listening and have a very blessed day.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Aaron Francois and I am the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives here in Grenada. And I'm going to be a chairman for this morning opening ceremony. And so first of all, let me recognize at the head table, Senator the Honorable Adrian Thomas, Minister with responsibility for Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives. His Excellency, Luis Manuel Lopez Morena, Ambassador of Mexico to the Eastern Caribbean states. I want to also recognize Mr. Reginald Andal, the National Specialist for the Caribbean Agriculture Research and Development Institute, Dr. Wayne Myrie from the Coconut Industrial Board in Jamaica, Mr. William Castro Rodriguez, from the International Trade Center, other special invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen all, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, that sounds like, yeah, we're here to discuss coconut, eh? And coconut is oil. So it's supposed to be energy. Okay? It is an honor for me to welcome you to this very important regional training workshop and exhibition. On behalf of the government and people of Grenada, and in particular the management of the Ministry of Agriculture here in Grenada, I extend a warm and spicy welcome to each of you to the Spice Island of Grenada. To our first-time visitors, and I hope we have some of you here, let me extend a special welcome to you and to urge you to enjoy the warmth of our Grenadian hospitality. For others like William, who are here not for the first time, I encourage you to continue to explore and enjoy the offerings of pure Grenada. I know that William has already arranged for having our Grenadian oil down. We are all gathered here to discuss over the course of the week what I regard as one of the most important commodities in our food chain, coconut. Almost every aspect of the country's industry, almost every aspect of the coconut industry, from preparing planting material to the processing of coconut-based products, I am told would be touched on during this week. The importance of oil and oil products in maintaining a healthy diet is well known. Many of us have fond memories of many delicacies that we enjoy from coconut-based confectionaries and other products. Today, almost every chef wants a dash of coconut in his or her meal preparation. And every one of us look forward to enjoying a refreshing drink of coconut water, as I see exhibited in the picture over there. The contribution of coconuts to supporting human livelihoods goes even further. In Grenada, for example, for decades, coconut trees were used to line our coastal areas, acting both as windbreaks and soil conservation measures. Unfortunately, the passage of Hurricane Ivan and Emily in 2004 and 2005 largely devastated that site. As a boy growing up, I recall having to collect the coconut shells to use as fuel for baking and cooking, including using it to roast breadfruit for our meal next day. As you will see from the exhibition, the use of the coconut has penetrated almost every facet of our livelihood, including our folktale culture. Indeed, many of us still remember our old folk song, "Coconut Woman is Crying Out." And every day you can hear her shout, "Get your coconut water." Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to recognize and thank our many partners, including the European Union, the International Trade Center, the Caribbean Agricultural Institute, and the Mexican government for supporting us in hosting this regional training workshop and exhibition. Permit me to especially single out the Mexican government, who after funding previous training insisted that the information be passed on through further training sessions. We therefore trust that the experiences this week here in Grenada would indeed be a very transformative one for you, the participants, and for the coconut industry in the region. I therefore welcome each of you again and extend my best wishes for a successful workshop. Thank you. gentlemen, we're moving right ahead as we continue the opening ceremony. And I want to invite to the podium at this time one of our close partners here in Grenada, the Caribbean Agriculture Research Institute, Mr. Reginald Andal, the national specialist, to make some remarks. Let's welcome Mr. Andal.
Thank you very much, P.S. Francois, for your warm introduction. I stand on the protocol already established. It is a great pleasure to stand here and speak on behalf of CARDI, not only from a Grenadian perspective, but also from a regional and international perspective. Because over the past few years, CARDI, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, the International Trade Center, the European Union, with funding for the coconut project from the European Union through the International Trade Center. CARDI has been integrally involved in assisting the development of the coconut industry across the region. We are very pleased to be involved in this training sessions this week, and we want to recognize the avid determination of Mr. Troy Augustine, whose brainchild it was to put on this training session and exhibition, and we have been giving him the support, as also he has received the support from other stakeholders. I just want to itemize some of the key involvements of CARDI has been making in the coconut industry in Grenada in the recent past, because we recognize the vast importance of this industry. The country of Grenada has suffered setbacks from Hurricane Ivan, and the coconut industry was severely impacted. And even to this day, we are still experiencing some of the negative consequences of the coconut industry from Hurricane Ivan. However, with funding from the European Union through ITC, we have, I said in the recent past with the coconut project, have been doing a various number of activities. For example, training of farmers, extension officers in little yellowing and coconut production agronomy, also in nursery management, processing, and food safety. We have recognized the shortfall of planting material as being an issue, and therefore we have been involved in supplying over 20 acres of planting material to a number of different farmers across the country. We have also been involved in trying to promote the coconut industry using social media and also radio. With reference to improving the supply of planting material, we have supported the development of 2 private nurseries, one at the farmers group called Grainrop, and another at a private personality, that's Mr. Peter Wills. And especially with Mr. Peter Wills, that has been able to help supply planting material to a number of different farmers. We have also been involved in trying to manage the South American palm weevil. And during the course of this week, we shall be promoting some of the, or reporting and educating some of the aspects of our management of this weevil, so that participants can be further bring up to speed with some of the techniques that we have been promoting. So we are very pleased to participate in this week of training and exhibition with the Ministry of Agriculture, ITC, European Union, the Mexican Embassy, and let me also state that we, in the recent past, have been collaborating with AICA in helping to support the production of the Mexican germplasm coconuts, that they were instrumental in, together with the Ministry of Agriculture, to introduce into Grenada way back in 2016, and plants which were distributed to farmers in 2017. So let me close by saying many thanks to the organizers of this week of activities for involving us in this venture, and CARDI will continue to support the development not only of the coconut industry in the region, and Grenada in particular, but many other aspects of the agricultural industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Handel, for those remarks. Let me also, before I bring on the next speaker, let me recognize our CARICOM member state participants who are here, stretching down from Guyana, Suriname, going up to all the way up to Jamaica. We are indeed glad that you can make it and to be part of this training. I want to also recognize the past national specialist for ICA, who is with us, Mr. Derek Charles. Also, our agro-processors and exhibitors who are here, and also farmers and ministry staff. Thank you for joining us in this opening ceremony. I want to, at this time, bring to the podium Mr. William Castro from the International Trade Center to bring some remarks to us.
Thank you, PS. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I also stand and observe all protocols already established. For us, for the International Trade Center, it's great to be here, to be present with all of you, to have a lovely week talking about coconuts. I've been working with coconuts already almost 8-10 years, and I know all of you are very passionate when we begin talking about water, oil, the meat. So, yeah, I'm already trying to get some patience to hear all discussion all week and all going crazy for coconuts. So, of course, please let me say thank you to the Ministry of Agriculture for hosting us and the government of Grenada. It's great to have been that you are hosting this regional engagement. This really stands out as the importance that you place into coconuts for the development of the region, for the farmer, for the agro-processors. It's very great to have all these bright minds in the same place. With our colleagues from the Coconut Industry Board in Jamaica, you have NARE in Guyana, Silo, Suriname, etc. So the presence of the different staff from the Ministry of Agriculture that are really working together and closely with the farmers to help them to improve the life conditions, basically. And of course, a special recognition to Mr. Troy Agustin that is dragging us, all of us here, and really pushing to make this happen. And also colleague Alison, also from the ministry, who's given great support for this. So this initiative, as was discussed before, is funded by the European Union through a CARIFORUM initiative. So it's very great to really see in practical terms how this regional collaboration means, physically, in presence, tactically, that's to already seeing you discuss, and we haven't had even 2 hours with the trainings, but you're already discussing important matters on how to collaborate, on how to integrate more cooperation from the Mexico, government of Mexico, for example, have also been very supportive for the region. And already see the different companies and colleagues interact on how do you do things, how do you really make your process better. This is the whole intention of being here this week. We never stop learning, so it's to continue to learn, it's to continue to integrate more the region, to really act as an unity, as is the intention of all of our governments. I'm very happy and pleased, most of all, that my special request for the oil down it was not forgotten. So I'm really looking forward to that. And it's very good. So as you all know, and we always stand out in every of our meetings, that we are doing together in what we call Alliances for Action. So it's about integration, it's about doing everything in partnership. And it's important for us to work together with the entire value chain, especially with what we call the unsung heroes, which are the farmers, the small companies, which are struggling every day with many challenges, with competition, with pests, with hurricanes, with all the things that we know is very difficult for the farmers and the company to stand out. So it's very good to have also the ecosystem supportive this development, and as the ministry is doing, CARDI, CC, CIB, and other partners that we're working together towards development of the coconut value chain. So I really hope that this week we can integrate more. That this week can be also the initiation for even something larger, that we can replicate this in every country in the region, and that we can get together, all of us, to learn more and develop. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, and I really look forward for a fruitful week, talking all about coconuts. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, William. And William has been behind the scene helping really to organize this training workshop. So William, we thank you very much. At this time, I understand that His Excellency Louis Lopez Morena is not new to coconuts. In fact, he hinted to me that he has a great passion for coconuts. And so we are really delighted when he accepted our invitation to come here to this workshop. So I now invite His Excellency to the podium.
Thank you much, PS. Well, good morning to everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and as the PS mentioned, it's not my first time working on coconut. We had several experiences, very productive and very important experiences, donating and working to grow coconut in the Caribbean states, in St. Lucia and Grenada before in 2016 and 2017, and with magnificent results that now we have several plants from Mexico, palm trees resilient to the yellow disease, and now I confirm that they are now producing coconut in Grenada and in St. Lucia, and soon we will talk and work about to do more. Allow me to adopt the protocol that has been established, and but to recognize Mrs. Magdalena Terrazas Fielding, that is the Honorary Consul of Mexico. Please stand up. And this is a Mexican lady that is an entrepreneur here in Grenada and the owner of the Trouble Way Resort. So we have the Honorary Consul there. When you visit the Doggy Dog, the restaurant, please look to the right and you will see the Honorary Consul of Mexico there. So we are very happy. Well, the Mexican community has in touch with her and is very supportive with some of the projects that we are now working with Grenada. As the ambassador of Mexico to the 6 states that make up the Eastern Caribbean, it is an enormous privilege for me to be present at this opening ceremony and to participate in the works of the Regional Coconut Training for Sustainable Development of the Coconut Industry in Grenada, whose objectives are, and allow me mention them again, because it's very important. What are the objects of this meeting? First is to strengthening the capacity of coconut farmers and technical officers with improved and innovative strategies. And second, care and management of the coconut plots, pest and disease, through a farmers field school training to move the sector forward through commercialization and the agro-processing of coconut. It is very important to mention that before to come here, I developed some encounter with the executive director from the Mexican Agency for International Cooperation for Development of Mexico. And it's an honor to convey to you one message from the executive director, Dr. Laura Elena Carrillo Cubillas, who, in addition to sending you warm greetings, requests to reiterate that for Mexico and for Amexit and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mexico, this training is of high importance and wishes success when you discharge the topics, the themes of the agenda, which are of special relevance for the development and consolidation of the coconut industry in the Caribbean. Mexico congratulates and acknowledges the effort of the government of Grenada and the national and international institutions that participate in the organization and financing of this training, which coincides with the comprehensive strategy for strengthening the coconut industry in the Caribbean that my country started more than 3 years ago, and as I mentioned before, in 2016 and 2017 and the following years. We started this program 3 years ago in 2019 as part of the collaboration between Mexico and the Caribbean community through a first workshop focused on a crop resilient to climate change. A few months later, in February 2020, we held the second workshop with focus on in vitro culture techniques for this product. However, just 1 month after this activity, the COVID-19 pandemic reached outlet the region and forced the indefinite suspension of that will be the third and last workshop of this initiative with CARICOM. Notwithstanding and given the good result derived or derived from the strategy that I have just mentioned, AMEXID received requests from various Central American countries to participate in initiatives similar to those developed with the Caribbean countries on strengthening the coconut sector, and within that framework of the integration and development of Mesoamerica, it was decided to execute the comprehensive strategy to strengthen the coconut value chain, whose first 2 workshops were held in 2022 with the 10 countries that make up that region. The fifth workshop was focused on crop resilience to climate change and rehabilitation, and include topics such as the rehabilitation of the coconut palm, evaluation of soils, and plantations and selection of seeds. It took place from June 13 to 17, 2022 in Chetumal, Mexico, in the Caribbean region. That's a very important place that, for the Mexican areas to develop some areas. The second workshop was oriented towards the exchange of experiences on mitigation of pests, disease and genetic improvement of the coconut plant, with themes oriented to the development of seeds and jar plums. You mentioned very well the jar plums, hybridization, genetic conservation, lethal yellowing of the coconut plant, and other pests. This workshop was developed in August 15 to 19, 2022 in Tabasco, Mexico. That is the other regions that is important because it has similar environment that these countries. And the third workshop was developed recently in October 2022. That was very important because for first time we worked together with the Central American region countries and the Caribbean countries. We had the presence of 16 countries. I will mention them, especially from Belize, Colombia, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Grenada, also with Troy Agustin, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, Jamaica, Nicaragua, Panama, and Dominican Republic, the place of your country, Mr. William. And it was very important because at this time, the participants developed some works, especially focused in the comprehensive strategy for strengthening the coconut value chain in Mesoamerica and the Caribbean. We focus on that issues because it's very important to work on the value chains. If not, to work in the development of the new plants and the varieties and everything is very important, the herb plants and everything. But it's very important to work, especially in how we can work with the families together and to develop new activities for them in our region. As you will able to appreciate, and not to go any further, AMEXID and Mexican institutions of the agriculture and research sector, such as the Yucatan Scientific Research Center, CICI, that's Dr. Oropesa is here, and Maria from that center will develop some interventions later, are present here. These Mexican institutions are dedicated to back up initiatives that support the promotion of value chains of the coconut tree, contributing to the development of livelihoods of the people of sister nations, and contributing to the fulfillment of regional objectives in 3 strategic pillars. Agro-industrial development, that is very important to work on that. We are working together, as I heard today. Adaptation to the climate change, disaster risk management. That is important. And I'm sure that the knowledge that will be shared here during the 4 days of work will not only assist with the strengthening of food security of the region, but will also boost employment and the coconut recovery of Caribbean families, and in an industry as vital as that of the coconut. Through this and other action in the short and medium term, we will continue to working together hand in hand to achieve the sustainable development goals, strengthen food security, and promote well-being conditions in our nation. And again, to the authorities that are here and you as participants of this workshop and this capacitation, please count on Mexico to support these activities. We have several institutions in Mexico that work very, very carefully in these areas, and believe me that we have a lot of expertise working and talking about this kind of issues. So, repeat, I'm not, it's not my first experience of talking about coconut and working directly, but it's very necessary to collaborate together. And again, please, to Grenada, you can come to Mexico, and to the organization, please accept that Mexico is ready to work together with all of you. Thank you so much, and have a very good day.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, and in particular for the commitment that you have given and the tremendous work that Mexico continues to do in the area of coconuts. I just want to recognize at this time, even as we are on Mexico, Dr. Maria, yes, and Dr. Oropeza. Thank you for being here. These are two of the specialists who will be working with you along in the coconut, some of the training that will be taking place. And so we thank you for coming. Both Dr. Maria and Dr. Oropeza are from Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, I am told that he is a coconut czar out of Jamaica. It is my honor to welcome Dr. Wayne Myrie to bring us some remarks.
Thank you very much, PS. Good morning, everyone. It's always good to be participating in this regional conferences. Minister, Honorable Adrian Thomas, Minister of Agriculture, Land, Fisheries, and Cooperation, or Cooperative in Grenada. PS, Mr. Aaron Francois of the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, Fisheries, and Cooperative. The European Union, Miss Marina Arias, Mr. William Castro from ITC, International Trade Center, Mr. Regional Andal, National Specialist Cardi, Dr. Cliff Riley, Head of Value Addition for Caribbean and Africa for ITC, Dr. Carlos Oropeza and Dr. Maria from Centro de Investigación de Yucatan, colleagues from other regional countries and regional institutions. Last but not least, that's why we're here, the coconut farmers, and also all other stakeholders. The importance of coconut cannot be overemphasized for people here in the region. If you visit the rural communities, you will recognize how important coconut is to farmers, producing 12 bunches per year. It adds important income to our rural folks to be able to send their kids to school. There's a South Sea saying that says, "He who plants a coconut tree plants vessels and clothing, food and drink, a habitation for himself, and heritage for his children." There's another saying, "Grass is always greener underneath the coconut tree." I would say that yes, it is greener, but especially when you are through with a hard day's work and you want some relaxation, coconut water with a tinge of rum in it is very good. Grenada recognizes the importance of coconut. And Minister, when you enter the airport, when I entered the airport yesterday, I was pleased to see the many pictures with coconut in it. And I actually took some of those pictures. Welcoming visitor to the paradise of Grenada. And as I mentioned paradise cannot be known or seen or observed without the coconut tree. If you look at any one of the advertisements on television, inviting people to come to enjoy the various countries in the Caribbean, a coconut tree is always present in the foreground or background. All right? It's good to be and to know that coconuts are so important to us. The Coconut Industry Board, which I represent, is a sterling institution that has been around for 78 years. One that has contributed significantly to the development of coconut industry in Jamaica, but also makes regional contribution. Through this ITC Cardi regional project, we have been a partner and are pleased to have helped in the, William, could I say success? In the success of this ITC Cardi project. We know we will be treated in this regional coconut conference to knowledge and facts about coconut. But most importantly, I think we should build important partnerships, strengthen relationships, and network for the development of coconut in the region. I want to thank the organizers. I want to especially mention Troy Agustin, who I have met some time ago, and I want to tell you a story, a very important story. In Malaysia, Troy took all the products that he could have gotten and take it back here to Grenada. I want to put your hands together and give a round of applause for Troy Agustin. I also want to thank the Ministry of Agriculture, the PS, and the Minister who decided that they would host this important conference for the region. And I'm happy to be a part of it. I'll just put your hands together for the Minister and the PS and the Ministry of Agriculture. And I just want to close by saying, coconut is goodness in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
See why I tell you he's the coconut czar. Thank you, Dr. Myrie, for those great comments and for your great remarks. We're moving steadily along, but permit me to also recognize in our midst representatives from the Chinese mission here, People's Republic of China, Agricultural Mission. We are glad to have you here, colleagues from China. Ladies and gentlemen, before you come, let me tell you, today is his cabinet day. And we are happy that he can brace us with his presence. But as soon as he finishes, he would leave because he has to return. His PM will not forgive him if he does not return to the meeting. So it is my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to invite Senator the Honorable Adrian Thomas, Minister for Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives here in Grenada, to bring special remarks. Minister.
Thank you very much, PS. Well, let me inform you that the PM may not only not forgive me, he might fire me. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And I could understand why you're responding in that manner, because when I came here this morning, I asked PS for some water. And the honest truth is I expected a glass of coconut water. So, Mr. Troy, one on you, but I want to challenge the PS that for the remaining days, I think you should supply get some coconut water, at least one glass or a bottle. If you will not be able to get the Prime Minister to pay for that, it's on me. So I'll be seeking the report of you all if you all got the water, PS. I came here this morning not to really read any speech, but to talk about coconut, because I had so many experience with coconut. But I will have to follow what the office carries and read the speech. However, before I do so, let me also urge that oil lung and dessert be served with coconut flavor at some point in time during the course of the week. I will follow up on that, PS. But let me also give a story about Mr. Troy, Augustine. I'll follow my Jamaican counterpart. 3 days after I got into office, a gentleman came to my door and he said, "There's a young man I want to have a word with you on some coconuts." And the man spoke to me, and this man is convincing. This man is serious. So, well, I want to see who is this man, because during the first week, couple of days, you're taking courtesy calls. And the gentleman came with files in his hand and products in a little bag. And his name was Troy Augustine. And he was trying to convince and persuade, some people call it persuade around carnival time, that coconuts is the way to go. And the honest truth, my brothers and sisters, I fall in love more with coconuts, and I gave Mr. Troy an opportunity to expound. And I thought he would have finished in half an hour, but he measures that in US, so it was by 2.6. But we had a good chat, and I'm happy. Comrades, before I start, let me acknowledge and recognize the head table. P.S. Francois from the Ministry of Agriculture, His Excellency Luis Lopez Moreno, Ambassador of Mexico to the Eastern Caribbean, Mr. Reginald Buckmeyer, Cardi Specialist, Dr. Wayne Myrie, Coconuts Industrial Board, Jamaica, Mr. William Castro Rodriguez, International Trade Center. Also want to recognize Aika former specialist, Mr. Derek, the Chinese mission. I've seen representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture in various departments. I am seeing GCNA representative here. I'm happy to have you because although you represent nutmeg, I think you are embarking on some coconut project to integrate with the nutmeg, and this is very good. So if you blend in anything you blend in with the black gold, I'll be happy. Members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, I extend a warm welcome to everyone, and especially our regional friends who have joined the Grenadian counterparts and the start of this regional training and exhibition. I thank the International Trade Center and the Mexican authorities for joining with a team of local and regional agriculturists to plan and implement this training and exhibition showcasing all things coconut. Let me also thank agronomist Troy Augustine and his team of organizers for working diligently to ensure this day became a reality. We are here at the Trade Center, and a few minutes walk will land us on the world-famous Grannans Beach, a stunning white sand beach with crystal clear water, and where visitors and locals can enjoy the view of the capital, St. George, whilst bathing under the golden sunshine. I have described paradise. We are in paradise. A round of applause for that. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to have you. Embedded in this paradise are clusters of sea grapes, shady palms and coconut trees, and a wide array of flora and fauna. Leaving the Grannans Beach in the south of the island, a local or visitor may choose to travel along the eastern coast, the western coast, or through the interior over the Graniton Hills to another popular beach, Bathway, in the north of the island. There one will again encounter clusters of sea grapes, shady palms and coconut trees, and a wide array of flora and fauna. My good friend from Jamaica was not telling tales. A common feature in all these scenic areas is a coconut tree. The nuts is lined on the interior with white edible meat and contains a milky liquid. The meat is often shredded and used in cooking as a flavoring and a dessert, among other things. It is the main ingredient in our national dish, the oil lung. Please get some. Originally from the coast of Africa and the Indian Ocean, the coconut palm was introduced to the Caribbean by early settlers. Being superior, well adopted to a special maritime coast, coconut palms spread throughout the shores of the Caribbean, including here in Grenada. Since then, coconut has served a multifunctional role, making an important contribution to national food and national food security. The coconut tree and its byproduct, which include fresh, green, and dry nuts, copra, coconut oil, and coconut water, are consumed in significant portions here in Grenada. The coconut shell is used for various fibers, charcoals, coconut ornamental items like beads, bracelets, and earrings. The coconut fiber is also used for the making of small handicraft items. The coconut industry has played an important role in employment and income generation, especially in the rural communities. It supports the environmental thrust of the government, and it aids in the prevention of coastal erosion while providing charming landscapes and are attractive to both tourists and locals. Beyond the coastlines, the coconut palm is used for landscaping and home beautification. The coconut also has health properties. Studies have shown that the coconut oil prevents the formation of hepatic cholesterol esters, that the lauric acid found in coconut oil provides the disease-fighting fatty acid monolaurin, which boosts the immune system, and that coconut oil can be used to relieve dry skin and restore the youthful look by aiding the removal of the outer layer of dead skin cells, making skin appear smoother.
From all of these, it can clearly be concluded that we are dealing with a fascinating tree and its product, a significant agricultural commodity, and therefore, this regional trading and exhibition focusing on the coconut palm is most welcome. This week-long activity expected to strengthen the capacity of coconut farmers and technical officers by providing and showcasing improved and innovative strategies, addressing issues pertaining to the care and management of coconut plots, and enhancing strategies for the control of pests and diseases. The government of Grenada welcomes this initiative. As a government and the Ministry of Agriculture, our focus is on enhancing national food and nutrition security. We therefore will not spare any effort in our goal to attain national food and nutrition security, which can only be attained when all individuals have reliable access to sufficient quantities of affordable and nutritious food to lead a healthy life. Food, especially locally grown and produced, must therefore be available, accessible. It must be utilized, and there must be some level of stability. Brothers and sisters, fellow farmers, this project is very important at this time. The report linker on the Grenada coconut industry outlook 2022 to 2026 stated that Grenadian coconut production is projected to decline slightly over the next 5 years. By 2026, production is anticipated to reach 5,670 metric tons, down 0.6% from 2021. This follows an average year-on-year decline of 0.5% since 1966. The report also noted that Grenadian coconut imports rose slightly in 2018 to 2,000 metric tons compared to 2017. Brothers and sisters, our intention is to turn around the declining trend in coconut production. We are all aware of the devastating impact of Hurricane Ivan and Emily in 2004 and 2005, respectively, on coconut production, as well as the negative impact of disease and pest infestation. In those years, our coconut industry was at its lowest level, with production reduced by as much as one-half. Since then, a number of efforts have been made to resuscitate the industry, and permit me to refer specifically to the support received in 2016 from the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture. Take a bow. Whereby 1,500 little yellow-resistant coconut plantlets from Mexico was added to Grenada's coconut stock as part of the ministry's coconut resuscitation program. As part of that initiative, technical staff and extension officers received training in proper management of the plantlets, and 40 coconut farmers were selected to be trained in coconut agronomy and in how to take care of the plants. They were expected to multiply the new varieties, which will then be available to the rest of the population. The intention of this endeavor was to rehabilitate the coconut industry and to have access to improved early-bearing cultivars that are high-yielding, disease-resistant, and of good tasting quality. I noted a report 4 years later in 2020 in which one farmer who received 15 of the plants were preparing for the harvesting of coconuts. The farmer was quoted as saying, and I quote, "I was very happy being one of those farmers selected to grow the coconuts and to show my appreciation. The least I could have done is to take care of the coconut plants. I wanted to make sure the ministry and ICA was happy to see the work that I was doing to contribute to the rehabilitation of the coconut industry in Grenada." End of quote. I would really love to hear similar testimonies from the other 39 coconut farmers and our agricultural extension division. Grenada has been selected to host the regional coconut training
and exhibition. And it is my hope that during the course of this week's training, some of these farmers will be visited and the experience documented. The Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, Fisheries, and Cooperatives continues its effort not only to rehabilitate the coconut industry, but also to grow the industry and to expand the area of agro-processing using the product. Brothers and sisters, the development of the coconut industry is well integrated in the strategy and programs of the government. Last Wednesday, in my capacity as Minister with responsibility for agriculture and lands, forestry, fisheries, and cooperatives, I had a media launch of our ADAPT program, the Agriculture Development Assistance Program, which we call ADAPT. It is designed to assist farmers, fisherfolk, horticulturists, apiculturists, and plant propagators to meet the full potential in the cultivation, management, and availability of priority agriculture commodities and marine resources. Brothers and sisters, under this program, the ministry will determine annually the priorities for which assistance will be provided on a scale basis as determined by a needs assessment to enable the farmers, fisherfolk, horticulturists, apiculturists, and plant propagators to increase production. I am pleased to state that coconut is among the priority crops selected in the initial rollout of the ADOPT program. The intention is for coconut farmers to benefit from the program, and hence this training and exhibition is timely. The identification of beneficiaries to receive assistance under the ADOPT project commenced this week. Moving beyond this training and exhibition, and as we approach the 50th anniversary of Grenada's independence, I would love to see an elaborated long-term integrated and sustainable development plan for the coconut industry, whereby growth could be recorded within the next 5 years and the industry could deliver benefits to all stakeholders throughout the value chain. Comrades, to accomplish this, there is a wide range of measures that could be taken, including improving access to planting material, developing a quality assurance system, improving pest management, increasing research ties to new niche market product, market research, and mobilizing funding for capacity building. Considerations could also be given to a Grenada Coconut Festival, a 2 to 3 day event around a coconut theme that will feature seminars and exhibition as well as festival celebration. And I know this will not go unnoticed by my good friend, Troy Augustine. It is also opportune to look at the growing demand for coconut water as a beverage. The bottling and storage of coconut water for extended shelf life and improved marketability is an area needing further research and development. Consideration must also be given to the clusters of coconut trees that are populated with aged, tall trees, and the cost of harvesting the coconuts, and to select coconut varieties with shorter trees, less time to produce, and are specifically suited to the water-nut market with respect to flavor, yield, and ease of harvesting. Brothers and sisters, local and regional farmers are encouraged to consider whether it is viable to invest in coconut production and the byproducts. Explore whatever potential exists for supplies to both the regional and export markets in the US, Canada, and the European Union. Grenada was provided with tissue culture plans to address the rehabilitation of the coconut industry through the establishment of improved olive-bearing cultivars that are high-yielding, disease-resistant, and of good tasting quality. As a nation, we are ideally placed to revitalize the once prosperous coconut industry. The potential is there for an upscale coconut industry. As you participate in this regional coconut training and exhibition, I leave you with this advice from the coconut tree. Soak up the sun. Stand tall and proud. Remember your roots. Drink plenty of water. Be contented with your natural beauty. Enjoy the view. I thank you.
Thank you for joining the Heartbeat today, and let's do it all over again next Sunday afternoon. Until then, bye.